All right, we've got a Vegas preview for you. New logos on the way, and how about even a sneak peek of what the new arena is going to look like? All in a jam-packed Locked On Mammoth.
You are Locked On Mammoth, your daily podcast on the Utah Mammoth, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Hello, everyone, and welcome in once again to Locked On Mammoth. I'm veteran NHL voice Tom Callahan, joined as always by longtime team analyst Robyn Leaño. Together, we're the dynamic duo that brings you Locked On Mammoth each and every single day. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for making us your first listen when it comes to the Utah Mammoth hockey team. We are packed today's show. We've got a Vegas preview, two winless teams in the preseason going head-to-head. New logos. Yes, you heard that right. New logos for the Utah Mammoth. We're going to have those for you here. And if you stay to the end, we're even going to give you a sneak peek at what the Delta Center's new seating configuration looks like. And we've got a before and after. Believe me, it is a massive difference, and it's actually pretty cool to see. Today's episode brought to you by FanDuel. Download the FanDuel app now by visiting FanDuel.com and win $300 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. Robyn, I want to start out with the Vegas preview here. The Vegas Golden Knights are 0-2 in the preseason. The Utah Mammoth, I guess you could say technically 0-3 because there were 3 games, even though 2 of them were split squad affairs on the same day against Colorado. But neither one of these teams has won yet. And between the two of them, they have their own issues and their own things that they would be looking at and working on. But there's several things to be excited about watching this game as a Mammoth fan, which, by the way, it's going to be broadcast. It's going to be on the SEG Plus or the Mammoth Plus. So we're all going to be able to check this out if we want to. Robyn, I need to see some steps forward here, I think, is probably the first thing we need to talk about for this Utah Mammoth team.
Definitely need some steps forward. The biggest thing, it's something that we talked about yesterday. We talked about it earlier this week. No matter what, like we can go far, we can go back. And the big thing, Tom, is talking about that to me, I just want to see the effort. You talked yesterday about how a lot of these players seemed like they were just kind of just passengers. They were kind of just sitting there, like, what were they it was like almost like they knew it was like, hey, it's preseason. This doesn't matter. Like that should not be your mindset.
Proactive versus reactive, I think, is the difference we're talking about here. I don't want players to be reactive. I want them to be proactive. And even though I feel like proactive is a buzzword, and I kind of shake my head at it a little bit, you have to be the one leading the charge. You have to be, playing within your system, which I think is part of the whole issue of preseason and them trying to get used to what they need to do on offense, defense, and special teams. But they need to carry the play to the Vegas Golden Knights, not wait for Vegas to come at them and then react. And we saw that so much last year during the regular season. And that's why I bring it up in the preseason. I know there's folks out there going, hey, it's preseason. Look, we talked about it on the show yesterday about what we're looking for and why, more importantly, why we want to see it in the preseason. But Robyn, this is something that's been symptomatic of this team even longer than they've been in Utah. And that's why I think it's important for us to see this team take those steps forward and begin to do it now. This is their 4th preseason game out of 8. So you're halfway through. You need to start seeing the growth and the steps forward.
Absolutely. We'll add, Tom, that like we want to, or we do want to see that, Utah is still going to be missing some key players to be a part of what's going to be during the regular season. Logan, Cooley still unavailable, still day to day. It seems that Barrett Hayton's fine. Liam O'Brien's almost not going to make. I don't think he's going to be in tonight, but Liam O'Brien is at least getting a regular contact jersey, so that's good news.
I feel like O'Brien is one of those guys too, where even if he's close, I don't see a reason with a guy like that to rush him back in and run him into a preseason game, because you pretty much know what you're getting with him. He's pretty consistent with his skill set and his effort. I'm not in a hurry to see him against Vegas tonight. If he doesn't play till the middle of next week, that's just fine. I'm always going to be concerned about the bumps and bruises down the middle, right? I mean, we were missing the top 3 centers for the game on Monday against Anaheim. And of course, Cooley's probably the major concern. So, you worry about that. But Robyn, again, this is also a chance. And this is why I was a little upset about the Passengers and the lack of effort. This is a chance to step forward, command attention, put the spotlight on yourself, and all but demand a job with this Mammoth team coming out of training camp. That's what I want to see. I want to see players who really believe, and look, it's coach speak for them to say, well, every job is up in the air every year, every spot is open. No, it's not. Stop. We know it's not. But could you play your way out of the lineup? Some guys could. Could you play your way into the lineup? Other players could. Anyone who falls under either one of those categories needs to be stepping up.
They really do. And I mean, we've talked about, Tom, and we've given a pretty extensive conversation about where the open spots are. And there are very few, right? There are very, very few. And like on the defense, for example, there's like one spot open for your 7th man, right? And on forwards, it's who's going to fit in as a regular to the 4th line, and might who be your extra 2 forwards after that, your extra skaters. Like, those people are the ones that have to fight for it. And those people, if you're looking at, the ones who are newer coming in, whether it's a Ginla or Baudouin or Boot or whoever, or even Carcone, they know they have to fight for a spot.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've talked about who I thought looked hungry in some of the previous episodes, but it's got to be consistent. So I need to see it again. And the fact that the Mammoth have kept so many people in camp right now means they want to get more looks at guys. So look, the opportunity's there. The coaching staff is giving you the chance. They had a hard day of practice on Wednesday. They've got a game now again on Thursday. Look, this is your chance. If you're one of these players inserted into the lineup tonight, this is your chance. And of course, you never know. Look, we've already seen the injury bug bite a little bit, just a tiny nibble, but took out 3 centers at once. Last year, we saw it take out 4 D-man at once. So don't think that just because the numbers don't look good now, unfortunately, Robyn, I'll borrow your phrase, hockey's dumb, right? And it's not just in the way games pan out and in the puck luck and the breaks. It's also in the injuries. Things that may not be very deserving still sometimes happen. And so that's why I think you really need to show, I'll say me as a coach, a scout, a GM, whatever, that you deserve this opportunity.
Absolutely. And
show me some fight. Show me some fight, not actual fighting. I don't mind that, but show me like your energy and your enthusiasm.
100%. And again, it goes to that. It is the effort. It is the hunger. It is that, hey, I am going to give it my all. Like, maybe my shot is a little bit less, but because of that, I need to prove myself. I need to prove myself that I do deserve a shot, that I do deserve a better look to get a spot on this roster, or at the very least, a higher spot with the Tucson Roadrunners, or if they're not old enough yet, they're still juniors, at least, at least give them something to say, all right, we definitely want you to come back. We definitely want you to work on these. And the next year, I think you got it. Maybe even not. And not only that, too, some of these guys probably could even put out enough of an effort to make a name enough for themselves for the World Juniors in December. Like, there are so many different things that a lot of these players have to work towards. If they don't show the effort, what's that going to give them?
Right. I mean, bottom line is they've been in 3 games outscored 14-4. That means the offense isn't there. The defense isn't there. Help. So, but then again, maybe that is separating your wheat from your chaff. Mm-hmm. Maybe that is showing you that certain players just aren't ready for the big time, don't belong there yet. So,
but Tom, I will say that one thing I can little tease a little bit for everybody is looks like we got some projected lines getting ready for tonight's games.
Okay, so we're going to talk about the projected lines. We're going to talk about, yes, new logos. This is not a misprint. New logos and a sneak peek inside the newly remodeled Delta Center Ice In Boards and Glass Up. We're going to have that for you as well. Stick around. Today's show brought to you by FanDuel. Hey, did you know that the NFL season is here? It is. And FanDuel's making sure you're kickoff ready with a can't miss offer. Right now, new customers can bet just $5. And if your bet wins, you'll get $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. It makes every game more exciting, whether you're watching your team hardcore Sundays or you're just jumping in, flipping around on your fantasy lineup. It's quick, it's easy, and it's the best way to add a little more energy to your Sundays. So are you ready to play? Download the FanDuel app now by visiting FanDuel.com to get started. That's FanDuel.com to place your first $5 bet. Tom Callahan, Robyn Leaño here with you. Hey, we want your thoughts about the Vegas game coming up here tonight. Drop those in the comments as we get a little bit closer to game time here on a Thursday. Looking forward to, kind of doing a little bit of a postmortem tomorrow and a look back at the whole week. Depending on how things go tonight, Robyn, this is where you come in, a sneak peek at the lines tonight. So who is getting their chance to shine tonight?
Absolutely, and these lines are courtesy, by the way, of one of their daily reporters, Brogan Houston of Deseret News, is projecting Gunther, Hayton, Paterka on the first line, followed by Boot, Schmaltz, and Carcone, Tanev, Stenlund, Yamamoto on the third, Douglas, Smith, and McCartney on the fourth line. On defense in the blue line, Simashev and Dursey, Schmidt and DeSimone, and projects that it seems to be Mata and Cole will be on the will be paired tonight as well, with Vitek Vanacek set to be between the pipes.
I like it. So I'm going to have a good close eye on Vanacek if he plays 2 periods, which has kind of been the MO with the starters. 2 periods with the starters, and then they put someone else in for the third.
Matt Villalta is the second goalie to be dressing tonight.
Okay, so maybe next week we'll start seeing those guys get full games, Vanacek and or Veg, depending on, and again, it's how much time they feel they need to get ready. I would expect Veg is going to get at least 1 full game. But that said, okay, so I'm kind of interested. So DeSimone, we're going to get a look at finally. That'll be nice to see what he's going to be able to do. Boy, they are sticking with the big guys, aren't they? That's one thing I noticed as you're going through the forwards and the D, Robyn, they still, and it's funny because Andre Tourney said at the post-morning skate interviews today, he said that he wants the team to be relentless and physical and extremely competitive, and that's the culture he wants to breed. That is these guys. But are we turning a corner here? Are we going into a different style of play, or are we just, again, like we talked about yesterday, trying to fuse that speed skill game with the physical and the intensity game and try to figure out if we can marry those two?
It's finding the balance, and it really is. But it is being able to find those bigger guys and find the ones who are going to be more physical and do that. There's a lot of expectation that Daniel Boot's going to be one of those guys. Michael Carcone, and Boot and Carcone on the same line. That's something that I would love to watch. I'm going to keep an eye out for Boot and Carcone on that line. But also, Brandon Tanev being fitting in there. Curtis Douglas, by the way, he's the filler for Liam O'Brien, right?
You have had to notice Douglas. He makes you notice him.
If you didn't know Curtis Douglas beforehand, you know him now.
Yeah. Same thing with Ben McCartney. McCartney's been another guy who, I mean, those two, and Onyebuchi has not been afraid to go out there and throw. I mean, and he's such a big dude, physically imposing. And yeah, we've seen a little bit more of that fire out of Lawson Krause too. But here's the other thing. Can Krause play an 82-game schedule that way? You don't want him to. You want him to be mean and tough all 82 games, but you don't want him to drop every single game of that 82. So it's important for those other guys to do it.
Yeah, and that's why, when I'm looking at these lines, we've talked about this player before, and I'm going to mention his name once again. I am very keeping an eye out. I already said I'm keeping an eye on the line, but I'm still keeping an extra eye on Michael Carcone. Yeah. Because he is your physical guy. But he's also a goal scorer. you need to see that level of an effort from him. He knows he needs to fight for a shot for a better time because that's what was a complaint last season, right? He didn't get enough playing time, so he needs to prove himself. He needs to prove that he can be that person. So like Krause doesn't have to put in on the extra work, for example, as you mentioned.
Robyn, the important thing, you bring up Carcone, and I love it because, yes, we do need to talk about him, but we need to keep in mind, do you remember his comments at the end of the year? And our everydayers probably remember us talking about this.
It left the sour taste in some of our mouths.
He did, and he was upset when he left. And look, he spoke his mind, and I love that. I love that for the player. Good. And he did try to better his situation. But he believes that he is that 40-goal guy. He believes that. And if he wants to show that at the NHL level, it's going to mean creating your own time and space, as well as generating that for your teammates. And so that is why I want to see Carcone as much as possible in the preseason, make that room for himself and show us how. Okay, I'll believe you. If you show me, I'll give you every opportunity to be who wouldn't want a 40-goal scorer, especially at the NHL level. But you have to show me.
No, 100%. And I think that's why we're going to be seeing. I think if there is a player who is going to be playing in probably more preseason games than anyone, it's going to be Carcone. Right? I feel like they know it too. They know it. Like he knows it. He knows that this is his chance to fight back.
Yep. And that is, to me, very interesting to see those hungry players all in the lineup at once. And again, I mean, I don't want to sound like a broken record, but really, this is their chance. Robyn, if they don't pick up the ball and run with it. And I think that's why you see, McCartney and Douglas dropping the mitts every chance they get. Look, guys, we know you can fight. We know you can play tough. Let's see you stay out of the box now. Show me what you contribute on the ice 5-on-5, because you're probably not special teams material, and that's fine. Show me what you do 5-on-5 and why you deserve a role in the big time.
And something I'll add too, like for those players, like for the most part, is the expectation is they're going to be in Tucson. The Roadrunners training camp, by the way, they also going to have their own preseason games, and it's going to be essentially a little mini series with the Henderson Silver Knights. If Utah's playing Vegas tonight and Tucson's going to play Henderson in their preseason games, like that's your chance to do it. If you get sent back down by the time they do the games, that's your chance to go out and be that level of physical. But with this squad, I want to see you put out that goal scoring effort, put out the put out the forecheck, show that you can create offense.
Yeah. There's energy, enthusiasm, win the battles. If they do nothing else but win the battles on the wall, Robyn, to me, that makes them an invaluable part of any line, because it means puck retrieval, time of possession, and more scoring chances for your team. It also means the other team is not in your offensive zone. If you're going to go in, work hard on the wall, and, bring your lunch pail and your hard hat and go get those pucks, I absolutely have all the time in the world for you. Absolutely. I would love to see that.
Oh, yeah.
So there it is. It's out there for tonight, and looking forward to this. Vegas and the Utah Mammoth game time. So this is a road game, by the way, just a reminder. They're going to be out on the road. It'll be on Mammoth Plus and the SCG Plus. And Robyn, what is the game time? So Mountain Time is what, 7:30, or is it 8 o'clock?
It's 8 o'clock Mountain Time.
8 o'clock Mountain Time. Okay, 7:30 must be the pregame show. So there you go. Looking forward to tonight, and hopefully the Mammoth can put one in the win column. They don't have to, but boy, would it be nice. Okay, we actually have a very packed final segment. We have to show you these new logos, and I'm not kidding. They're new logos, and we're going to show you a sneak peek inside the Delta Center. We're going to point out the differences with a before and after. It looks awesome. All right, back here locked on Mammoth. Tom Callahan, Robyn Leaño. Hey, I might have forgot to tell you to subscribe, and I know it's implied, but it really helps the show. And if you smash that like button, the thumbs up, boy, that really helps us too. Share the podcast if you like what you hear here. The more, the merrier. We love.
And don't forget to hit notification bell too, because that will notify you whenever we have new content, new episodes dropping, and maybe some big news dropping pretty soon as well.
Yeah, well, yeah, I can tell you we've got some news coming. So, Robyn, let's start with, and this is the weirdest thing. We just got new logos, didn't we? Well, we're getting more. We're getting more. And the comment before I show you these was just simply basically Smith Group is saying, well, yes, this is what we're doing. We're flushing out all of our marks. But I'm going to tell you that, Robyn, I think this is paving the way in my mind. Okay. This is just me and my 25 years of working in the world of hockey, especially on the team side. This is setting them up for an ice blue third jersey with, drum roll, please, this as the primary logo. I think this, and I'm not saying that this, maybe the U could be on that blue jersey, but Robyn, as we take a look here, if you're watching on YouTube, if not, we'll link to this through our social media sites. This to me is maybe something where they're preparing it to be a third jersey. We've got the full Mammoth, all four legs, the tusk. And notice the tusks are a little different on each. The one on the left, which is mostly a blackout, if you will.
It's a flat one, yeah.
Yeah, it's a little bit different, whereas the one on the right, which has more detail and relief and has all the more coloring involved, it's a slightly different shape and feel and everything. So it's kind of interesting to denote the difference.
I'm gonna be fully honest, Tom. I like the one on the left more.
The minimalist, the blackout look. Okay,
I love the minimalist look.
I don't mind either one of them. I don't think either one of them are bad. It just, one basically, if you're listening, will describe, one looks like a mammoth standing in the shadows with a little bit of detail on it, and the one on the right looks like a mammoth standing in the sunlight with all the detail you have come to expect from the mammoth head logo itself. So, but again, we'll link to that.
I feel like the one on the left can be I think it will make a great third jersey, like with the ice blue. I think it would look awesome.
I absolutely would support that. And I'm sure we could be talking a shoulder patch. We could be talking merchandising possibilities here, all kinds of things for this. So
I could see these on a hat. 100%.
Yes.
These are going to be on a hat.
Yep, absolutely. You will see. I mean, why wouldn't you take all your new logos and marks for a spin? You would, and you will. So that makes sense to me. But yeah, I think it's setting them up for a blue jersey. I don't know that it's this season that they do that. It makes sense that when you just launched
there are so many teams putting out new third jerseys, but like it's not going to be the Utah this year. They might tease some stuff later. Who knows? But
there's no reason to do it this year because you're going to be selling out as it is on just your brand new logo.
Exactly.
So there's no reason to drop a blue one now.
Especially because those blacks look so good.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. And hey, don't forget, October 2nd, 11 a.m. at the team store. They're going on sale online too. But if you want to pick it up that day, that's the day of the first preseason home game. 11 a.m. I would be down at the Delta Center team store. Okay, so let us know your thoughts in the comments on the look there for the Mammoth. And again, Robyn and I will have those up on the social media side. You can follow us at Locked On Mammoth on a bunch of different places. But Robyn, you also, I want to get to this before we talk ourselves out of it. Had a chance to play a little I Spy. You noticed a picture of the new Delta Center.
Yeah,
seating.
no. Actually, it's been going around now at this point. A lot of you probably already saw it because a Utah fan got a chance. I think a family member, whatever, was been working on the construction inside the Delta Center. Got a chance to quote sneak inside and take some photos. Another fan helped put up a side by side. But let's take a look. By the way, you know what I'm gonna do first? I'm gonna show everyone the beforehand. By the way, so this is what it looked like last season.
And pay special attention to behind the goals.
Exactly. Pay special attention to behind the goals. So you take a look on this one right now, right, where you kind of see the walls. There's not a whole lot of room there, and it looks, it does take away a lot of seating capacity. And from a different angle, but updated, here comes the new one.
So, Robyn, the very first thing you notice, those two walls behind each net are gone.
Yep.
They have been
now.
Yes. So this is two things that happened in the construction. Number one, they raised the surface of the ice, actually the whole floor of basketball too, 2 feet.
2 feet. Yep.
So they built that up by 2 feet, but then they actually had to design and come up with on their own a new style of bleacher.
They're retractable bleachers that can be used for both basketball and hockey. So on here with the hockey setting, take a look at how steep those end board seatings are. Like it's going to require some climbing. So like if you're like if like but you have like if you're a season ticket holder in those zones, you're gonna have some amazing calves by the end of it all. That's one, but also two, Tom. Those fans are gonna be right on top of you. They're gonna be right on top of you.
It is a steeper seating angle. I think it's going to be better for the fan experience. And now it means more rows of seats, so extended capacity for hockey. Robin, the other thing that I personally love about it, it reminds me of how steep the old Maple Leaf Gardens was.
Mm-hmm.
Not the way the Air Canada Center and most modern arenas are kind of swept back.
Yeah,
That's not. That is steep and not in a bad way. Like you're
yeah.
not
I
you
no,
won't be
like
passing goats, okay? It's not that bad.
yeah, right.
But
No, but
it's
it
good.
is steep and it is good. And I mean, I've had the experience of growing up in a steep arena, by the way. So like, yeah, I grew up in SCP Center, home of the San Jose Sharks. That arena is steep. It's feel like you're right on, also you're right on top of the ice. And I'll tell you as an experience, if you're someone who's behind in that area where it is that steep, one of the biggest rules, and this is a huge thing, and it's the case for most hockey, but one of the biggest rules when you're in steep settings like this is do not lean forward because you will block the person behind you.
Yeah, the steepest arena, very quick side story, that I've ever been in. I'm not even sure if it's still open or they still use it, but the old Hershey Park Arena before they built the new, I think it's called the Giant Center. It was the Hershey Park Arena. Robin, I remember going for a Hershey Bears American Hockey League game against the Syracuse Crunch, and it was so steep that the person behind me, their knees were at my ear level.
That sounds
That's
about right. Yeah.
how steep it was. Like you couldn't even build it that way anymore because there's codes against it.
Oh yeah.
But holy cow, you want to talk about an intimate setting. By the way, Hershey Park Arena is the setting for where Wilt Chamberlain scored his 100 points in a single game. That happened at Hershey Park Arena.
I've
A
heard
little bit of trivia.
I've heard telltale stories of the Spectrum in Philadelphia, of
The old Auden
Chicago,
Buffalo used to be that way.
of Chicago Stadium. All those are much older, but because of that, they were built that steep, and they
Right.
were crazy. But and again, we're not seeing arenas that steep anymore, but we're giving you guys an example of what happens when they are. One of my favorite things, Tom, is not only is it great for viewing angles on those people because you can see a lot, but it also creates a funnel. The noise
Crowd
just
noise.
funnels, so it's gonna be harder. So like, be loud because it's gonna be. By the time you get to the bottom there, you can barely hear yourself.
Yeah, Delta Center was already well on its way to becoming the best home ice advantage in the NHL. I think this is going to ratchet it up
Oh
and
yeah,
entirely.
certainly. I can't wait. I can't wait to check it out.
Yeah, looking forward to it. That's for sure. So, all right, as we put a bow on this one here, looking forward to the Vegas game here tonight. And let us know in the comments, what do you think? What do you think about the new logos? What do you think about the new seats and seating angles? Are you willing to try to sit behind the net if maybe you've been sitting in center ice or on the blue line? Would you give it a shot? Let us know what your thoughts are down there. Robin, if they want to reach out to us on social media to give us their thoughts, where can they find us?
Yeah, they can find us everywhere on social media at Locked On Mammoth. That's at Locked On Mammoth. You can find us there. I primarily manage over on X/Twitter, so you can find. So if you want to interact with and get an immediate response, you can find me there. Also, me personally at Robyn_Leaño.
And you can find me on Blue Sky at Tom Talks, and you can find me on Twitter at Callahan on Air. Feel free to reach out to us anytime. We always love your interaction. We try to read each and every single comment that we get, and we thank you so very much for being a part of Locked On Mammoth.